Drop an emoji if you can. Okay, our recording is up. Okay, awesome then. Okay. Thank you. All right, so the recording is up. We can get started. Now, like I said earlier, right? There are opportunities out there, but I'm surprised that when I keep talking to some persons, I keep getting this sense of, oh, there are no opportunities, there is no job. And I'm always surprised whenever I see that notion. And obviously, I'm not saying getting a job is easy. But like I always tell people, there's nothing in this life that is easy. So why do you think getting a job will be easy? Nothing in life is easy now. Is there anything in life that is easy? But sometimes I notice that people tend to forget that some things are just normal. It's just normal for it not to be easy to get a job. But the opportunities are still out there regardless. Obviously, getting a job is not easy, but it doesn't remove the fact that the opportunities are out there for the taking, right? It still does not remove that fact, right? That the opportunities are out there for the taking, right? Now, what I want to show you before I get started, why did I come on LinkedIn? I've been saying this. I think it was our customer experience person that first opened my eyes to this on LinkedIn, right? And I've been saying this. I still posted it on my LinkedIn today. Now, this is LinkedIn. This is product manager job. This is worldwide, right? So product manager jobs available worldwide, right? This is not me. This is 46,246 results. For crying out loud, that is 46,000 jobs. Now, obviously, not all the job is going to sit down well for you as a person. When I might need to narrow the job down to maybe remote, might need to narrow it down to specific countries. But the most important thing to take away here is there is, as at today, I just searched this year now. I did not do magic. You can go on your LinkedIn and check. This is 46,246 results for the product manager jobs available worldwide. So I am still shocked when people say they don't get jobs. But again, today is not for that conversation. Next week, I'm going to talk about some things that I've observed, right? But today, I just wanted to lay the foundation that, one, there is opportunities. The question is, are you entering those opportunities? That's primarily it. At least, if you look at this now, when I type product manager, look at these recent searches. Can you see these recent searches? It says product manager, 1,635 new product management job available worldwide. Product manager, 355 new worldwide remote product managers job available. Product manager, 270 new worldwide internship entry-level associate product manager job available. So, my brothers and sisters, just in case you don't know, the opportunities are out there. And also, just in case you think that there is saturation in the market, because that's another feedback I've gotten. Are we not so many product managers? As you can see, there's 46,000 jobs for only product manager. We've not said product designer, software development, only product managers. As you can see from my search, you can do it on your own search as well. Maybe we'll see a different results. Right? Now, the opportunities are out there for your taking. The question is whether you're applying, you're reaching out to those opportunities the right way. Now, let me come back to the core of my conversation, right? I'm going to come back to the slide I have for this particular class. I say class or session. Let me put it that way. Now, let me have this up. Okay. You guys can see my screen, right? You can see my screen. You can see beyond getting a job in 2024.
Yes, we can, okay. We can see it.
All right, makes sense. So now I've showed you that there are opportunities. That's one. You can see for yourself that there are opportunities. But today I'm not going to talk about those opportunities in terms of getting a job. Let's just even talk about beyond getting a job. And how can you maximize your product management skills beyond getting an actual job responsibility, like, oh, I'm getting hired as a product manager, I want to be a product manager. Beyond that perspective of getting a job, right? What other ways can we look at? Now I'm going to start from here. Let me throw a question to you guys. What do you see in this image? Just type it in the chat, or let me hear from like maybe one or two persons. What do you see in this image? One or two persons who want to share. What do you see? Gisola, Sophia. Sophia, go ahead.
In my opinion, I think somebody saying the reflection of him or herself.
Someone seeing the reflection of him or herself. Okay. Jola, do you want to say something? Jola, do you want to say something? Okay. Let's hear from Rukayat. Rukayat, what do you see in this image?
Okay, so this image is an image of one person, like the person looking at themselves in the mirror.
Person looking at themselves in the mirror. Okay. Anybody else seeing something else? Ayomide, what do you see in this image? Anybody see something else? Anybody
Okay,
else
okay,
okay,
good evening, everyone.
Yes,
good evening, everyone. So from this image, I'm seeing like it's actually one person, but then the I don't know how to pronounce, I don't know how to refer it to in mathematical terms. It's like one person, you understand? But then he or she is like reflected in like two different ways. Then from the mathematical angle here, I can see that the measurement on both sides are not the same. So I don't know how I can relate it to something else.
Good evening. Good evening.
Hi Banji, we can't hear you. You're muted.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we
Can you
can.
hear me? Okay. Okay, so let's hear from, thank you, Ayomide. Thank you, Ayomide, for sharing. Let's hear from Ife, and we hear from Queen. Others can type in the chat. Just type in the chat so that we can maximize our time. Type in the chat so that we can maximize our time. Ife, go ahead. Then we hear from Queen. Ife, go ahead. Chiamaka says she sees an hourglass. Jay says, I can see a chessboard piece. Okay. Imran, go ahead. Imran, go ahead. I'm with you. Imran says like a vase, like a drawing different from human image. Okay, nice. Now, let me say something so that we can maximize our time. I just gave you guys a simple task, right? And guess what? I just do that in drum roll. Uchechiku said word of mouth. I mean, they want to kiss. That one too is there, right? Okay, let's just say who is right or who is wrong. Drum roll. Everybody is actually right. Weird, right? All of you are actually right. I can see a glass. I can see a vase. I can see, just like Uche said, I can see two people trying to kiss. And I can see somebody trying to see the reflection of themselves. And again, different ideas that we can see here. Thank you, Fumilayo. We all have different perspectives. That's where I'm going to. Thank you, Fumilayo Akintayo. If you look at this image, if I ask you now, what can you see? Some people will see a frog, and then some people will see a horse head. Who is seeing a frog? Who is seeing a horse head? Who is seeing a frog? Who is seeing a horse head? You can see two things.
Yes, I'm actually seeing the two.
But it's because I showed you now that you can see it, right?
I can see the two.
So you can see like a frog, and then you can also see the head of a horse. Just like Fumilayo said just now, we are all seeing different perspectives. If I do not show you guys that there is a horse and a frog, right? You probably won't know that there's a horse and a frog. Some of you might see horse head, some persons might see frog, right? Perpetua, if you cannot see my screen, I guess is your network. So you might want to drop off and join again, Perpetua. If you cannot see my screen, then I'm guessing is your network. Now, I showed us this for one thing, and I think Fumilayo has already highlighted it. We are all seeing things from different perspectives. This life is all about perspective, right? This life is all about perspective. And I'm going somewhere. Please stay with me. I'm going somewhere. This life is all about perspective, right? Because what I see may be different from what you see. And what you see may be different from what I see. And that means that none of us is necessarily wrong. It's just that the perspective that we see, that's what makes the difference. Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth. This guy is going to see 4 lanes. This guy is going to see 3 lanes. Are both of them right? Yes. None of them is wrong because this guy is saying 3 things, or this guy is saying 4 things. Now, why am I laying this foundation? A lot of people used to only focus on product management, because this is a product management community, obviously. Many of us here, or many people I've observed, are focusing too much on just the linear part of product management. And they are not paying attention to the other perspective that you can apply product management skills. Again, I've said there are so many product management jobs. Well, today is not the conversation for those jobs, right? What I want to focus on is the different perspective. Now, let me say something very funny. Yes, many of us used to complain that Nigeria is bad. And I complain too, to be honest, because Nigeria is actually, the economy is actually bad. It's not something that we can be mincing words, right? But however, right, one thing I've seen is that people are still doing well legitimately within the same economy. I'm not sure the way I have seen people driving Rolls Royce, Kulinan, in Nigeria in the last 1 year. I've never seen that kind of thing in my life before. The way people are driving Rolls Royce in Nigeria, the way people are driving Lamborghini in Nigeria, sometimes I'm always shocked. It's like, I saw one video on Instagram. I think I downloaded the video. I said I was going to share the video, right? Somebody even wrote and said, the way these cars are getting popular in Nigeria, you'll be thinking that those cars are like 5 million naira. But these are cars that people are spending 700 million, 800 million, 1 billion to buy. And please, everybody is not scamming. Please, everybody is not scamming. Please, nobody should even bring that they are stealing government money. Nah, people are making legitimate money in the country. Why am I trying to show you a different perspective? That's what I'm trying to show you. Yes, the economy is crazy, no doubt about that, right? I remember the other day I withdrew $100 and I got 170K. And I'm like, now wow, $100 is 170K. That means 1 million naira is not even up to $1,000. Like 600, maybe $700 will get you 1 million naira. And I'm like, this is bad. It's seriously bad. Now, where am I going to? I'm going somewhere. But I just wanted to lay a foundation. Everything in this life is all about perspective. Any perspective that you choose to see, that's what you're going to see. And what I want to help you guys to see this evening is to see a different perspective. Now, let's move on. See, guys, getting a job is a means to an end, but not the end in itself. But I'm always shocked when people focus too much on getting the job. Meanwhile, getting the job is only a means to an end. Now, people focus too much only on the perspective of getting a job that they forget that at the end of the day, it's all about practicing what you do and earning a living from it. At the end of the day, why do you want to get a job? Is it not to make money? Abi, what else are we getting a job for? Are you getting a job because you are passionate about product management? Don't worry, me too, I'm passionate about product management, but the money is more important than the passion. Thank you, Ayomide, to buy Benz, right? Me, I want to buy Range Rover Vela. right? That's what I want to buy. So it is not to be passionate. I love the passion. I enjoy doing what I'm doing. But at the end of the day, everything we're trying to do is to earn a living, right? To do dirty December. Thank you, Juliana. Now, getting a job is a means to an end, but not the end in itself. But too often, people focus on, am I going to get a job? A lot of times, when people talk to me, or maybe they talk to our customer person's team, and they say, if I finish learning the training, how am I going to get a job? And getting the job is the struggle. And I'm like, getting the job is not the problem. I'm not saying getting a job is easy. Nothing in life is easy. So let us go ourselves. Nothing in life is easy, right? So getting job is obviously not easy, but the jobs are available. It doesn't still mean the jobs are not available, which I've shown you guys. But again, I'm not even talking about getting jobs, because getting the job is a means to an end. At the end of the day, we're all trying to get a job because we want to do something that makes us money. That's all the reason why we're trying to get a job. Now, just in case you don't know, you can practice what you do, which is product management, and earn a great living without having a typical job. Just in case you don't know, you can practice what you do, which is product management, and you can also earn a great living without having a typical job. Right? So let me drop a message for someone. Now you can practice product management without necessarily having a typical job. You can practice product management. Now I'm going to share with us 6 ways or 6 different perspectives where you can apply your product management skills. Now I've laid a foundation. All this thing about life is perspective. I've showed you guys, me, I can see something else, you can see something else, right? And I've also shown you guys, I gave an explanation just now that, you know, as bad as Nigeria is in terms of economy, people are still doing well, right? Close to my estate here now, they've been building 4-bedroom duplex. I drove past that road now, and I'm like, when did they start building this house? Who is giving these people money? Everybody's not stealing money. That's what I told myself. And I said I was going to come and have the conversation in this class. They want to sell that house now. That house is 1.7 billion. Somebody is going to buy it. And I can tell you for a fact, the person may not be a politician, and he's obviously not a Yahoo. How many Yahoo makes 1.7 billion naira? Somebody's going to buy the house. And the person does not have 2 heads, 4 hands, 4 legs. Right? Life is all about perspective. Now, I'm going to show us 5 or 6 different perspectives where you can apply product management. But let's go back to the basics. Let's go back to the basics of product management. What exactly is product management? And I'm not going to spend too much time here, but I'm just going to use, for anybody who has learned product management at Enoverlab, I'm sure you know this definition, right? This is our own definition that we use from AIPMM at Enoverlab, right? We say product management is the process of conceiving, planning, developing, testing, launching, delivering, and withdrawing a product in the market. And I remember any class that anybody who took training at Enoverlab, we always tell you guys that product management is not limited to tech, and you don't necessarily have to start a career in tech. And I remember that any class I was one that took, I would tell you guys that you can get product management jobs in places like Mercedes, places like Land Rover, places like Nike, BBC, because they hire product managers there, and it's not your typical tech companies. So I'm sure, again, I can see a lot of Enoverlab alumni here, so I'm sure you guys know this already, right? Now, the definition is pretty straightforward. Conceiving, planning, developing, testing, launching, delivering, and withdrawing. That is product management. And we say product management is not limited to tech, right? And there are 4 goals of product management: to build something that is valuable, feasible, usable, and viable. Something that solves a need, something that can be easily built, maintained, and scaled, something that is going to be easy for people to use, something that makes profits for the organization. Again, like I said, I will not spend too much time here, but I just wanted to lay a foundation. Now, this is what product management entails. And like we always discuss in class, we say product management is not limited to tech, which means you can apply product management in anything. Like literally anything. And I'll give you examples. I'll give you my own personal life examples so that maybe it's things that I have personally done. Every single thing here, I have done it myself. Right? Now, the primary responsibility of a product manager is to solve problems for customers. The secondary responsibility of a product manager is to drive up business value for organizations. When you understand these two things, then you can be able to approach product management from different perspectives or different angles. Our primary responsibility is to solve problems. Our secondary responsibility is to drive up business value for organizations. Right? Primary responsibility is to solve problems. Secondary responsibility is to drive up business value. So again, hold that at the back of your mind. Just hold these two responsibilities. Everything every product manager is doing, number one, solve problems for customer. Number two, drive up, help companies to make more money. Let's just put it explicitly. Anything that you do that has to do with solving problems for other people is product management. Anything that you do that has to do with driving up business value for organizations, companies, or businesses is product management. Anything that you do that has to do with solving problems for other people is product management. Anything that you do that has to do with driving up business value for organizations or companies is product management. Which means you don't necessarily have to work in an actual product management job title, quote and unquote. You don't necessarily have to. Right? You don't necessarily have to. As far as you are solving problems in that capacity, you're helping the business to make more money, you're applying your product management skills, is applicable. Now, I'm going to talk about 5 ways to apply your product management skills beyond getting a job. I know the funniest thing, these things I'm going to share with you, I can bet you that you guys already know everything here, but maybe you're not just seeing the perspective. Because there's nothing I want to tell you here now that I will say that any of you will be potentially shocked per se. I'm not sure. Anything I want to say here, you're going to be shocked. But hopefully, I'm able to help you to see that perspective. And then when you go into next year, you can explore that perspective. Number 1, solve a problem in your current job or business. And you make more money. You don't even have to leave your current job before you start to apply product management. But it's weird when people keep saying, I want to leave my job. Again, except you are ready to leave your job, which is one thing. But let's say, for example, you're not ready to leave that job, like maybe mentally, maybe emotionally, you're not ready to leave the job. Why not stay in the job and apply product management skills in the job? Even if you're an accountant, even if you're a doctor, and if you're a business person, I say this a lot in my classes. Please, one of the easiest ways you can apply product management is to start from your personal business. I can bet you 1,000% that business is going to grow if you apply product management exactly. Let me speak from a place of Enoverlab. Every single thing that we do at Enoverlab is pretty much applying product management skills. Enoverlab is not a tech company. Enoverlab is a training company. What we do is trainings. But in application of what we do, we apply literally product management principles and everything. Product management principles and everything. We are not running like a typical training company, something. We're running like a product. And we're applying product management skills. For example, we are solving a problem by providing training of product management. We are solving a problem by providing internship. We are solving a problem by having a community. We are solving a problem by sharing resources. It's a problem that is being solved. Right there in your current job. As far as, let's say you're not ready to leave that job, maybe mentally, maybe emotionally, and you've learned product management, you can apply your product management skills there. It doesn't matter whatever the job is. Accountant, electrician, plumber. Do you know product management can be applied? Let me give an example. So let me give an example. Let me use the plumber example. I've never used this example before, so I'm just coming up with it from my head. I have this guy that comes and do plumbing in my house, Dami. His name is Damilola. right? You obviously guys don't know him. Now, Dami comes to my place, and anytime I have like plumbing issues, oh, chief, blah, 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 blah. And he comes to help me solve that matter, right? Do you know Dami can apply product management in his plumbing business? How? How can he apply product management? We said product management is all about solving problems, right? One thing that Dami can do for me is to ensure that he solves my plumbing problems in a way that I am satisfied as a customer and in a way that I feel confident to bring him again. Not that Dami will solve my problem now and then that problem will not be truly solved. Which, for example, me and my plumber now, Dami, we used to fight ourselves every now and then because the guy would do job and tomorrow I'll come and call him again and say, guy, you did not do this job well. Right? What Dami can do, another thing that Dami can do is that after Dami has solved my plumbing problems, Dami can ensure that he's checking up on me, his customer, to ensure that, hello, Mr. Banji, that work that I did for you, show her okay, is it fine? Is it good? Is everything working fine? Do you know that's product management? I know you might look at it from the context of maybe a business person, but that's product management. He can call me and say, sir, that plumbing work, is it good? Is everything fine? Is there any other thing in your house that you want me to come and change? Imagine if Dami has 50 people like myself and he's taking care of us as his customers, he's calling us, he's sending messages. Do you know Dami is already applying product management? But you'll be shocked that a lot of small businesses don't even do something as simple as checking up on their customers. They only call their customers when their customers want to buy from them. Let me tell you, is my voice breaking? Please confirm. Can you guys hear me clearly?
Loud and clear, sir.
Loud and clear. All right. So, Henry, misses your network. Now, Dami, like I said, Dami can call me and say, oh, blah, 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 blah. In a nutshell, what I've just said now is that Dami can apply product management. Dami can always try to identify, validate, and refine problems that is affecting me as his customer, despite being a plumber. Instead of him just making and doing plumbing work, which is what many people do most times, they focus too much on the plumbing work instead of focusing on the experience of delivering the service, which that is what product management is about. Focus on the experience of delivering the service more than the plumbing work in itself. And again, for you guys that have gone through Enoverlab training, I always say it that, and I'm sure maybe if you're not in my class, maybe you're in goodness class or Monjola's class or any of the instructors' class, you know, it's something that you would have seen in your slide. We always say that every product is a means to an end. Nobody cares about the product in itself. People only care about the end result of the product in itself. Right? So, for example, Dami comes and fixes plumbing work in my house. What matters to me is that that work is totally fixed, not that he came to just come and be gumming pipe. I don't have any business in gumming of pipes. I'm not a plumber. I don't have any business with gumming pipes and buying, what's the name, water filter. I still sent money to the guy this morning now to help me change water filter. But that's not my business. My own is that change the water filter and let me not have any issues as a customer. So if Dami just simply focus on delivering a great experience to me, he's already doing product management. Right? So start from where you are right now. You don't even need to get an actual product management job before you start to think about solving problems. You don't have to. In your business, solve problems. In your current job, solve problems. And again, I'm sure anybody has gone through Enoverlab training will tell you guys, focus on high frequency, high intensity problems. Meaning focus on any problem that affects people frequently and intensely. Any problem that affects people every day, every time, that's a serious problem. If you have such problem happening in your organization, you don't need to be a product manager in your company before you think about how to solve the problem for your company. You don't have to get a product manager job before you think about how to solve problems. So it's quite shocking when people are only waiting to get a job. Then it shows that you're not even imbibing the product management mindset. Because if you are imbibing the product management mindset, right, you will look beyond getting a job before you think about solving problems. Meaning you don't have to wait till you get a job before you start thinking about what problems can I solve. In your community, what problems can you solve? In your church, in your mosque, what problems can you solve? Right? In your office, what problems can you solve? And if you focus on solving anything that affects people frequently and intensely, people will know that you did something significant. Because anything that affects people frequently and intensely is a significant problem. Anything that affects people frequently and intensely is a significant problem. So that's one. Solve a problem in your current location. You don't have to wait till you get a product manager job. And you can practice everything you've learned in product management. Maybe not everything, but the major principles of product management, you can practice it. You can practice product thinking as an accountant. You can practice understanding users as an accountant. You can practice prioritization as an accountant. You can practice metrics. Anyway, accountants already do metrics. You can practice what else? Strategy. And you're not even an actual product management job. So, solve a problem. Define how your idea will make money for your organization. So I just listed out some steps here. Use your product skills to identify, validate, and refine problems that are affecting your current organization, where you work, or your business. Start from your business if you have a small business, right? What problems can you solve for your customers in your small business? If you focus on high frequency, high intensity problem, you have a jackpot on your hands. If you do it well enough, your business is going to grow 1,000%. I can beat my chest on it anytime, any day. Right? Ideate a product or a solution to solve the problem. Define how the idea is going to make money for your organization or for your business. Lead the execution of bringing the product idea to life. Start small, deliver value, optimize for consistent product usage. All these things are basic product management principles. Like I said, I'm not sure anything I'm going to tell you guys is new. Maybe you're not just paying attention to that perspective. So all I'm trying to do here is just show you the perspective. So that next year, you will not be waiting till you get a job before you can apply product management skills and make money. If you go into a company right now, say you are a banker, for example, in your role as a banker, can you figure out problems to solve within your bank? Figure out problems that is affecting your bank branch, right? Look beyond your JD, your job description for your role in the bank. What problems is affecting this our branch regularly? What is our manager always complaining of? Put yourself and take the responsibility to figure out a solution to the problem. That is already you doing product management. And if you focus on solving a high frequency, high intensity problem, they would know, because it's a problem that is affecting maybe your branch frequently and intensely. They will know that it is Dami that did this thing, no? Or it is Dami that brought this idea to the table. Do you think you're not going to get promotion faster? You should, except maybe they are limiting you in that organization. But even if they are limiting you in the organization, you can leave the company and you carry that your skill set to another company. Life is too short. I mean, life is not that hard, right? So, my brothers and sisters, start from where you are. You don't have to get an actual job before you apply product management. You have a small business, apply product management. In your job as a banker, an accountant, engineer, whatever, salesperson, marketing person, apply product management. Go beyond your JD. Prove to your organization that you can do much more. Even right from your current place of work, do it well enough that it's inevitable that you know that you are not actually spearheaded that idea within that current space. What you are doing is you are building your capacity so that even when eventually you not even land the product management job, you'll be more grounded than if you are just waiting. I've finished training at Enoverlab. Then you're waiting 1 month, 2 months. Next thing, you will not be doing anything. Then all the skill sets that you've learned, you will not start to forget. And then next thing, what will not happen is some people will now come to my DM and say, I've been applying for jobs. I've not gotten jobs over the last 3 months. And I'll just be, in my mind, sometimes I just smile. Sometimes I just say, okay, what exactly happened? And most times when I drill down and I start to ask them questions, right? And I've done this for a lot of people. They have not even applied to a lot of jobs. I remember asking a lady, I said, have you applied to 100 jobs? She said, no. I said, you've not even started application. I said, okay, are you applying your product management skills? She said, no. You're not applying for a lot of jobs. You're not applying your product management skills. I don't understand. That is not the fault of anybody. That is your own fault. You're not applying your skills. You're not applying for jobs, right? Somebody, now, if I ask some of you now, you say you're applying for jobs. If I ask some of you now, how many jobs have you applied for? Some of you have never applied to 10 jobs this month. But if you can't complain now, you complain like as if you've applied to 1,000 jobs. That's how many of you will complain. And I'm used to it. Anyway, someone will come and say, I've not been getting job. You ask the person now, have you applied to 10 jobs this month? I've applied to only 2. And I'll just be laughing in my mind. Just I don't want to be a bad person. Right? I'll just be laughing in my mind. You've only applied to 2 jobs this month and you say you're looking for a job. The action are you applying your product management skills, you're not applying your product management skills, you're not applying for jobs, but then you will not come and complain like as if you've applied to 1,000 jobs and you did not get the job. So in a nutshell, start from where you are. That's the long and short of my story. You don't make you finish a training. In short, before you finish a training, and I say this inside trainings a lot. If you're in my class, I say this a lot. Please start to apply product management skills in anything that your hands can find right now. Anything that your hands can find right now. Anything. Right? For example, let me give one example and I'll move forward. For example, I told you guys that a lot of things that we do at Enoverlab as a business now or as a company, right, is product management application. For example, we prioritize user experience a lot. Now, some of you might have experienced Enoverlab's user experience. Some of you may not have experienced Enoverlab user experience. Again, we are not perfect. Nobody is perfect. So we cannot be perfect. But at least we know that we are trying our best to drive that user experience. So a simple thing that we do at Enoverlab that is like a user experience thing is trying to give all our physical students as much as we can a giveaway bag or a goodie bag. Anybody who has attended our physical class probably knows this, right? Now, that goodie bag, we don't have to give the bag. Our business is not sharing gifts. Our business is providing training. But one thing that we have seen over the years is that little gesture of going the extra mile to give to the trainees, right, goes a long way in people's minds, which is experience. We've provided a training, but then we try our best to deliver a great experience to back the training. And I can tell you from experience, some of you probably experienced this yourself. Just by getting that goodie bag, we know how excited a lot of people are. At least I still did a graduation for some of my sets in Lekki last week, and I could see the excitement. And in short, I always even feel proud in the process of giving the gift more than even, don't let me say more than the training. I enjoy the training, obviously, but there's just a joy that I feel in my mind as a person going through that process. Do you get? Don't worry, online students, people can be jealous. But there's no way, it's not technically feasible to distribute gifts to online students, unfortunately. Because you buy in London, and you people are in Kaduna, and you people are in Port Harcourt. It's not technically feasible. But don't worry, we are working on something. We're working on something. But unfortunately, if you are not in the cohort of next year, unfortunately, you are not going to experience it. But yeah, but I'm sure you guys get my point. What I'm just saying in a nutshell is we are applying product management principles, which is we go beyond just solving the problem in terms of providing training, and we go to give extra beyond just the cost of the training. Number 2, you can actually solve a problem, build a product, and start a business. I know not everybody is meant to be an entrepreneur, so I'm saying this with a very context. Everybody's not going to be an entrepreneur, but I feel like if you do feel like you can start a business around something, then find a problem that you can solve, build a product around that problem, start a business around that problem. Again, it doesn't have to be a big business. Just if you see a problem that is affecting people. For example, let me just share something personal, right? I enjoy music. I'm a keyboardist. I play the keyboard, right? I listen to music a lot, right? Especially live music, live music creation and all, right? Now, I've not even played keyboard in a long time. I just even see. There's where I'm excited. Why? Because I just got a new keyboard today, so my excitement is all over the moon. But aside from that, I'm going somewhere. Now I have a friend who sells keyboard, right? And I thought about it. This guy is a good friend of mine. I bought the keyboard I bought from him today from him. And I told him, I said, I've been thinking about it even before today. I said, can we work together on something? I'm not the only one that love music instruments. A lot of people love music instruments. And I know that finding music instruments to buy is a problem. Because even me, before I could get this keyboard I got today, it has been a problem trying to find where and how I could get the keyboard. And I told the guy, I said, can we collaborate together? You would focus on the operational side of getting keyboard. Yeah, I don't have time for all those shipping and all of that. And I can build a team around solving this problem. We'll build a website, we'll build a solution, and then we'll focus on building a team around it. Guess what? They started something. Right? We started something. Because I see the problem, I've experienced the problem myself. Finding music instruments can be a struggle. So why not solve the problem? And I talked to this guy. He has all the shipping connection. They are shipped from the UK, from the US. No wahala. Me, I don't have that energy, but I can build a team and I can focus on the tech side to build a website, like an e-commerce website, to sell musical instruments and then create a system that makes it easy for people to buy those musical instruments. We could do a number of things. We could do buy now, pay later. We could do pay small. We could explore different ways to make the process of getting a musical instrument easy for anybody who wants to. That's a problem. I don't need to get a job to solve that problem. And we've started the process towards solving the problem. So you don't need, everything does not have to be about, me getting a job. If you see a problem that is affecting people and you feel like you can provide a solution to the problem or you can build a business around it, start it and be applying your product management skills. Same thing, focus on high frequency, high intensity problem. Apply all the product management skill sets, build a product, solve the problem. Charge the target users a fee for providing a solution to the problem. Start small, deliver value, optimize for product usage. If you know you cannot start a business on your own, find a co-founder, which is what I'm doing with this guy, right? He's a friend of mine. So I said, okay, we'll be more or less like co-founders. I would focus on the tech side, right? The tech and the marketing side. You will focus on the operational side of the business. And we're going to do a split. The most important thing for me is not even about the business. It's more about solving the problem because I encountered the problem myself. So why not create a system to solve the problem? Number 3. Oh, yes. So I put a note here. You can execute key product management skills like product thinking, user research, segmentation and personnel, user flows and wireframes, MVP, prioritization, metrics, market research, and product strategy, which you've learned in any training to solve any problem, build any products, create value, and deliver value in any industry. Just in case you don't know, you don't have to get an actual product management job to do all of these things. You can use product thinking somewhere else, just like what I just said right now, right? You want to start a music instruments sales business. Again, I'm not the one running the business in and out, but at least I love music, and so I would like to be involved in that process. But obviously, I don't have the operational capacity to be, shipping keyboard and guitars and all of that from UK and all. So why not let my friend undo that? I would undo the tech side. We'll build a reasonable website. We'll start with an MVP. I will prioritize what features are most important to users. I'm going to conduct a user research, build a team, will conduct a user research. I will apply every single product management skills to solve the same problem. Right? Even if the business does not work, guess what? I have applied my product management skills. Guess what? I will still probably make small money out of the thing. I might not make a lot of money, but I'll still earn a living. That I can speak for it. Especially, I know that I can apply my skill sets effectively So even if the business is not going to be one big, mighty business, at all, I'll make money out of it. And even if the business does not work, maybe in 1 year time, 2 year time, we shut down the business. But guess what? I will not lose the skill sets and the experience that I've gathered in the process. It's a win. Like, it's a serious win. So even if the business does not work, the skill sets, the experience that I've gathered in the process is going to be important to my next opportunity. And I always tell people in trainings, if you have a business, instead of put your business on your CV, put product manager, the name of your business on your CV. I say this again and again, and I don't shy away from saying it. I've told people to do this and they still get job with it. If you run a small business here, don't, instead of putting CEO, put your business on your CV, put product manager as the role that you did in your business. Don't go and put CEO, put product manager, put the role you did in your business, put product manager, write out everything you did in your business from the context of product management, because it is product management. It is product management. Number 3, how can you use your product management skills beyond getting an actual product management job? Another way you can go about it is to transition to related roles. You can transition to related roles. Now, see, the diversity of product management skills makes it easy to be applied in customer-facing and leadership roles with very little friction to fit in. What does that mean? Product management is quite broad. So it's a diverse set of skill sets, right? So even if you're not getting a product management job, so again, let's even say something is happening and you're not getting a product management job, then it's not do or die. Why don't you transition into operations manager and still apply product management skills? Or transition into customer success. At least if you get a customer success manager role, right, you can still apply product management skills. As a marketing manager, you can still apply product management skills. As a UX researcher, you can still apply product management skills. Management consultant, BDs, digital transformation specialist, community manager, even as a social media manager, you can apply product management skills. And obviously, the one that is very close to home, project manager, program manager. So even if you're not getting a product management job 1 month, 2 months, why can't you look at all of these other options, right, that might be easier for you to get in depending on your background, and then you can then still apply your product management skills therein. It doesn't have to be, permit me to use this Yoruba, don. It doesn't have to be by force, by fire. It must be product management, right? Why can't you start from an adjacent role? And all these roles here now, they are adjacent to product management. They are adjacent roles, right? So, and they are not too far away from the product management role. If you're an operations manager, you're not far away from product manager. If you are a customer success manager, you're not far away from product manager. If you are a marketing manager, you're not far away from product manager. If you are a UX researcher, you're not far away from product manager. If you're a management consultant. So choose the one that sits perfectly well with you and approach it. At least to the best of my knowledge, nobody needs a professional training to be a customer success manager or a customer success associate. For example, now, you can get a job at Paystack or Flutterwave as a customer success manager. And then when you're inside Paystack or Flutterwave, you work 1 year there, and then you can now transition internally into the product team. Right? You can transition internally. That's another way. So let's say, for example, you're trying to get into a company like Paystack. Instead of you applying product manager, and you're not getting it, why don't you take, okay, if Paystack is looking for a customer experience manager or a customer success manager, and you have a background in customer success or some form of customer success, why don't you apply to Paystack as a customer success manager, enter into Paystack, work there for like 1 year, and make sure that in that 1 year you are relating very well with their product managers. Make sure you're relating very well. 1 year later, 1.5 years later, transition from customer experience department to product department. You're still going to get to your end goal. At the end of the day, all of us cannot follow the same straight way to get into the job. You don't have to like stop and then go and enter product management. Why can't you do customer success manager, enter into that company of your choice, and then now patiently, be building yourself as even though you are doing customer success, but make sure you are relating with the product managers in the company. Make sure you are talking to them. Make sure you are, you're in their faces. Even though your job in the company is customer experience or customer success, but you're always in the faces of the product managers, trying to ensure that they know you. So that 9 months, 1 year, maybe 1.5 years down the line, you can talk to your HR and say, HRO, I want to do departmental switch. What is it going to take for me to switch from customer experience to product management? You have still achieved your goal. Instead of sitting down for 6 months, not getting a job, and you're doing lamentation. And meanwhile, the thing that most people will now do is that they will now be passing blame or be saying there is no job. At least I've shown you guys there's 46,000 jobs worldwide. So the excuse that there's no job is invalid or is not valid. That's one. But let's even say you're not even getting the jobs. You don't have to now be sitting down for 6 months and then be doing lamentation. You're talking about how bad Nigeria is. How bad is it not to get a job? You're talking about how things are saturated. Meanwhile, all those are just excuses that you give to yourself for not just going to take the action that you need to take. Go into customer success if that's what is going to be available. Go into marketing manager if that's what is available. Go into social media manager, apply your product management skills if that is what is available. And then you can know at the back of your mind, you'll be applying your product management skills in those roles so that you are building experience and you are building capacity, which is a win-win. You do not lose. You will still make money. You still apply product management skills. You help a business to make money. You make money. Everybody wins. You are building your experience. You are building your capacity. That's the interesting thing. You are not going to lose if you go through a different route. Yeah, maybe it might be longer. Somebody would have gotten the job 2 months ago and you might use 1 year. But at the end of the day, all of us are not running on the same timeline. I'm sure you guys know that. Everybody is running on different timeline. So you don't have to feel intimidated about somebody else. And even if you feel intimidated, go and do it first. So you don't have to start off in a product manager role. You can start off from customer experience, operations, community, social media, UX researcher, management consultant, business developer, or business analyst, any project manager, if that's what is available for you to start from there. Be using your product management skills while in that role so that you are building capacity and experience. And the truth is that you will make money because if you do product management very well, like we always say, the product manager is going to increase the company's profits by 34.2%. It's not me that said it, it's 280 Group that said it. So if you apply product management skills very well, even if your job title is not product manager, that company will see the evidence of what you are doing. It will show. And I always say that product management career is not, our job is not hidden. If a product manager is doing a good job, it will show. If a product manager is not doing a good job, it will also show. Let's even say you're not even officially a product manager. Let's say you are a social media manager, but then you are applying product management skills. It will also show that this person is doing something different than any other person that we've hired. Isn't it? Your lights go shine. That's the thing. The light will shine. So it's inevitable. So that's number 3. Note, you don't have to start your career as a product manager, which I've explained. You can get a job in other roles that have relationship with the product manager role, work in it for about 1 year, and then do a departmental or internal switch within the organization to the product management role. That's another way you can transition, especially if you want to get into a certain company. Right? So, for example, now you want to enter into Google. Instead of entering into Google from a product manager role, if you know Google's product manager interview is not moi. You are going to 8 stages of interview. Maybe you don't have the energy for 8 stages of interview. Why don't you go and look for UX researcher? Google is looking for UX researchers. Their job is just to be doing user research. And the role is not a high certification role. You don't need one big certificate to be a UX researcher. Just know how to carry out user research, which is a core fundamental product management skills. At least I know somebody who is a UX researcher. He's not a Nigerian anyway, but at least he's a UX researcher at Google. All he does at Google is just user research. Nothing more, nothing less. That's what he does at Google. Just user research. He's not building products. He's not working with developers. He's not working with designers. He's only just to be conducting research gathering data, analyzing the data, giving it to the product. Why can't you do something like that? And then you know that, okay, if I enter into Google from user research or UX researcher, I can then now transition within, can do an internal departmental switch or switch internally into from UX team to product team. And it's easier to do it when you're inside the company than when you're outside of the company. If you have any company of your choice that you want to enter into and get a job, if there's any company you want to enter into and you want to get a job there, right? If there's any company that you want to, if there's any company that you want to enter into that you want to get a job in, why don't you enter into that company that, why don't you enter into that company that you want to get a job into, right? And then enter from a different role and then transition internally into the product manager role. That's another approach. Number 4, you can be a product consultant or business consultant. I do this a lot. You can be a product consultant or business consultant. And I'm sure I've mentioned it to some people before. Your product skills can be highly valuable to startup founders, small business owners, and individuals who need help organizing and scaling their product or business efforts. At least, I know a lady that did this for somebody and she made money. Right? All she did was to give the person advice. Okay, this is your business. And the business has nothing to do with tech. All she just did was to give the person advice. The person executed the advice. The person made money out of the advice. I've done this for a lot of people and it works. Works every single time because I'm just applying the same product management that I would do on my job. I'm just giving them, okay, you guys can do it this way. You guys can do it this way. I've done a lot of advice for startup founders. Some paid, some free. I know you can earn money from this as well. Right? You can earn money. It can just be your side gig. You are still applying your product management skills, but you're offering consultation services to startup founders, small business owners. You know, you can do some for free just so you test, your skill sets. If you know somebody that runs a business beside you, your friend that runs a business, sit down with that friend. Look at what problem is this business solving? Who is it solving for? If there's a disparity, help the person to narrow it down. Let the person focus on a specific problem. Let the person focus on a specific target audience. Like we always teach you in class, you cannot build products for everybody. If somebody is building a business and are trying to sell to everybody, the person is not going to sell. If you try to sell to everybody, you will sell to nobody. As a product manager, you can guide that person and say, Chief, change your approach. This approach may not work. Can you focus on the target audience? Guide the person. Help the person to focus on the target audience. Let the person go and execute. Be providing overhead support. You will see, I can say it again and again, the person's business is going to see the impact. As far as you advise the person correctly, the person's business is going to see the impact. So you can offer consulting services to people. It's the same product management. You're not doing anything else. Product thinking. What problem is this business solving? What are we building it for? If the problem is not clear, help the person to shape the problem they are trying to solve. If the target audience is not clear, help the person to define the target audience they are trying to solve the problem for. It's the same product management. We're not doing anything different. It's just doing what you learned and then doing it from a different angle. And you can charge money for this, and you can also do it for free to test your skill sets. Right? I would say do it for free in the beginning, see the results. Then the more results you get for people, right? The more you can ask, okay, I can charge money, collect 200K, collect 300K, do 1 month session for somebody. Just say, this business owner, I'll just sit down with this person. I'll just be guiding the person. That's what you're doing. You're just guiding the person. You're not the person in executing the business. Okay, change your problem. Focus on the target audience. Go and solve a high frequency, high intensity problem. This problem you are solving, this business is not going to get a lot of customers. You are giving the person advice. And if the person executes your advice, the person will see the results. It will show. Do you understand? And that will help you. Even you feel more confident. And I'm sure anybody who does that, there's a fulfillment that comes with knowing that you guided somebody to do something and then the person got result out of it. Even beyond just making money. Even you feel proud. You feel more confident of yourself and your skill sets. If you do this and then you now go for a job interview, there's a way you feel more confident knowing that you help somebody's business to go from 1 million to 3 million naira just by changing a few things in product wise and experience wise. You can go into an interview and you can beat your full chest. There's just the way your confidence will radiate. Unlike if you sit down 3 months are looking for a job, you do not see job and you do not do anything. No, now. Meanwhile, there is this option here that you can explore. Number 5, you can become a co-founder with another founder. If you know you don't want to run a business, just like what I said I'm doing with my friend right now, right? The music instruments. People struggle with getting music instruments. Okay, he will focus on the operational side. I would focus on the tech side. Everybody wins. We solve a problem. Even if the business does not work, what matters the most is I've gathered experience. So I'm excited about the process of even going into the process, doing this, because this is an idea. This is an industry that I am familiar with, the music industry, in terms of especially musical instruments, pianos, guitars, bass, drums, samplers, and all of these things. I'm familiar with that space, right? But there is also a problem in that space that needs to be solved. But I have not built anything in that space. So for me, it's going to be an interesting learning curve. And don't worry, you guys will be seeing a lot of it on my status. If you have my WhatsApp number, I'll be sharing it, and I'll be sharing. How they say that thing? I'll be documenting the process. Right? What matters is not that the business even does well. What matters is that I am exploring my product management skills. That's all that matters. So if you know somebody doing something interesting, you can sit down with the person, let the person focus on their own part. You focus on the product side, and you co-found. Even if the business does not, so don't focus too much on the business doing well. What matters is that you are practicing your product management skills. And the more you practice, the better you get. That's all that matters at the end of the day. I know the interesting thing is that you can now still make money out of it. That's the interesting thing. Finally, you can work in non-traditional tech sectors. And this is where I'm going to wrap up. You can work in non-traditional tech sectors. PM principles are not limited to tech. They are applicable across industry, which is even the long and short of everything I've said so far. In healthcare, you can, if you are a doctor, if you are a nurse, you can use PM skills to optimize patient experience or digitize healthcare solutions. At least you can do this one, even if you cannot digitize healthcare solution. Can you optimize patient experience in your hospital as a nurse, as a doctor? You don't have to use anything tech. You just have to look at, is this experience good? Can we make it better? Can we change how we are doing something in the hospital? That's already product management. If you're in the education sector, can you build learning platforms? Can you improve curriculums? Can you improve tools to enhance educational delivery? If you're in non-profits, can you drive impact by managing donor engagement platforms, operational tools, strategies? If you're in government, can you improve citizen-facing services or policies by introducing user-centric design or agile practices? Non-traditional tech sectors even need product management more than even tech, because they are just very interesting space, right? Just very interesting space. Do you understand? And by the way, you don't have to be in the entire value chain. You don't have to be in the entire value chain. You can be solving problems in just one aspect of the value chain, right? I'm sure everybody knows child deck. If you don't know child deck, but yeah, I'm sure maybe some people don't know child deck, but at least I'm sure a large chunk of us probably know child deck, right? Child deck is just solving a problem in the delivery arm of the value chain. It's not child deck that is cooking food. It's not child deck that is driving bicycle, but it's child deck that has the platform that is connecting those who are cooking food and those who are driving bicycle to ensure that the customers are getting value. That's a problem. Child deck is not even, it's just that we can say, okay, child deck is a tech company, but it's in the food industry, right? But they are not even the one cooking the food. They are not the one doing the delivery. They are just managing the platform that organize the people who are cooking the food, the people who are doing the delivery, and the customers, so that everybody gets value. Fundamentally, they are solving a problem. They are making things easier. So, as I start to wind down, let me just recap everything I've said so far, right? you don't have to get an actual product manager job before you can apply your skills. One, start from where you are. Start from your current job. Start to use product management. Find problems in your companies, in your current organization where you work right now. Figure out how to solve the problem where you work right now. And focus on high frequency, high intensity problems, because any problem that is affecting your company regularly and intensely is a serious one, which means if you provide solution to that thing, everybody will know that somebody has provided solution to the problem, because it's something that everybody knows is affecting them. Number two, if you have a business, even if you don't have a business, if you see a problem that is affecting people and it's high frequency, high intensity, and nobody is solving that problem, you yourself build a business around it. Again, the focus is not on the business even doing well. The focus is on that you are elaborating your product management skills. You are building capacity, you are building value. So even if the business fails, you have experience, you have skill sets that has been developed. You are the one that win at the end of the day. Number three, transition to other roles. If the job is not coming, go to customer success, go to UX research, operations, projects, community, social media, management consulting. There are many other approaches that you can enter into an organization, and then from within the organization, you now transition to become a product manager. That's another approach. That's another perspective. You can be a product consultant or a business consultant. That's another perspective. You can become a co-founder. That's another perspective. So I've given you 5 different perspectives that you can explore beyond just getting an actual product manager job. So it's up to you now to choose which perspective sits with you. In my opinion, I would say experiment all the perspective, especially if you don't have a job right now, right? Experiment all the perspective. Try to look for a problem around you, solve it. Find someone who is building something, collaborate with the person. In your current company right now, you're a banker, you're an accountant, apply product management, right? And if you focus on high frequency, high intensity problem, you're focusing on something that people will know that you are the one that delivered the solution to that thing. So it's not something that will be hidden. The evidence will show. Like I always say, no be show workings, right? So that's the thing. By the time you do something like that, workings day, evidence day, especially because you solve the high frequency, high intensity problem, people will know that this person was involved in doing it. And what you are doing is you are building your capacity, you are building your skill set. So guys, think outside the box. Talk to someone about your skills. Look for ways to leverage your skills. At the end of the day, product management is more than a job. It's more. Product management is not limited to a job. It's a mindset. It's more than a job. Funny thing is that I feel like if you cannot figure out how to apply product management beyond the context of a job, I will say that I don't think you are even a very good product manager yet. If you cannot apply product management beyond the context of a job, then I will say you are not yet a good product manager. Until you learn how to apply product management beyond the context of I'm working in a 9-to-5, I'm earning 1 million naira or 700K. If you cannot apply product management beyond that context, and I feel like you're not yet a solid PM yet. And there are all of these different perspectives that you can apply product management. Either you use from your current place of work, you use your personal business, you transition to another role. It might not be product manager, but something close to product management. And then inside the company, you now move departmental switch, or you become a co-founder, or you become a consultant. Consult for other people. Or everything you've learned in product management, find one small business owner beside you. Go and be using the person's business as experiments. Be a consultant. Do it for free. Practice. Okay, is this person solving a problem? Is this person have a target user? Is the person delivering a great experience? And does the person have a solid retention rate? Is the person's churn rate too high or too low? If the churn rate is too high, if people are not coming back to buy from the person's business, what can you do as a product manager to ensure that that business churn rate drops and their retention rate gets better? All these are product management principles that can be applied in any business. Prioritization. Is the person focusing on nonsense or something else? Can you help the person using Moscow framework to prioritize everything the person is doing and say, Oga, don't do this thing. Let's use Moscow. Must have, should have, could have, won't have. We'll deprioritize the should haves, the could have, and the won't have. We'll prioritize the must have based on if it's going to deliver value to the customer, value to the business. You apply prioritization and you're not even in a tech company. Guess what? When the person does it, the person is going to see the results. The results go show. So, product management is more than a job, my brothers and sisters. It's more than a job, it's a mindset. So, beyond just, I want to get a job, and which is good. Product management is an amazing career path. I'll say that anytime. And I don't think I'm going to change being a product manager for any other thing. Even the way I like music, Rich, I cannot swap being a product manager for being a musician. Instead, I'll find ways to do the two together. Right? I'll find ways to do the two together. But I cannot swap it for anything. One, it's an interesting career path. Two, product management pays me well. So why not? Right? So why would I leave something that is paying me well to go and do something that might not be paying me well? So, but in a nutshell, it's more of a mindset. So beyond just, getting a job, you can unlock opportunities to innovate. You can unlock opportunities to lead. You can unlock opportunities to make an impact in ways that you can never imagine possible. Right? I've seen some very interesting things happen from product management skill sets, and that it had nothing to do with tech. It's just that I don't want to bore you with a lot of examples. Right? I remember one of our first alumni at Enoverlab back in September or October 2021, Esther Adebayo. I can remember her name fully well. In short, she did a session with us, how to use product management skills in business. If you go to Enoverlab YouTube page, you will see that session. Just scroll down to Enoverlab YouTube, go to 2021 or 2022. You see that session there. Esther didn't learn product management for the sake of getting a job. She learned product management for her fashion business. And that fashion business grew so much just by applying product management skill sets. I'm not even sure she's still practicing product. I'm not sure she's practicing product management, as in like working a full-time product manager job. Even right from then, Esther was already talking about using product management skills in business. That's why I had to bring her then to come and do a session on using product management skills in business. Right. And the last time I spoke to Esther, doing amazingly well in that fashion business. And I can give God knows how many examples, but I don't want to bore us out. Time is already fast spent. In a nutshell, you can explore all of these different perspectives. Focus more on the mindset than on the actual. Focus more on the mindset than on the actual doing the job. And I put something here. The world actually needs more product managers who dare to disrupt. Why not let that product manager be you? You don't have to follow the straightforward, go and learn product management, get a product manager job. You can disrupt in very interesting ways. Even if you have a product manager job here, you can still explore any of these different perspectives. I still have a full-time job, but I'm exploring the different perspectives to product management. I've literally done every single thing that I've told you guys here. Every single thing. Right? Every single thing here. I've co-founded something that has nothing to do with product management. I have done business consulting a lot of times, or product consulting. I still did a consulting for some startups back in September or so, right? Even though it was just one session, one-off session. But I know how much, after I had the conversations with them, how much many of those founders had clarity about what they should be doing going forward. So I've done this. If you check my LinkedIn, especially this one, this product consultant, and I do that a lot. I don't like to make noise about it. It's one-on-one, right? Some of them, I collect money for it. Some of them, the one I did on LinkedIn, I did consulting for about 16 or 20 founders or so for free. What was I doing? You might think that anything was coming out of it. I didn't collect any money. But guess what? Even me, I learned something in the process. Because all these founders came from different industries. Agric, retail chain. Very different ideas that they were trying to build. It just helped me to further test my product management skills. transition to another role. Build a business that solves a problem. Why in your current job, solve a problem. I'm exposing you to all this perspective. Please explore all of this perspective. I can bet you will feel more fulfilled than just sitting down and hoping for the job. But meanwhile, like I said, there is still 46,000 jobs on LinkedIn. So it's not like the jobs are not even available, right? The jobs are there. But let's even say for any reason at all, you're not getting the job. These are other perspectives that you can explore. Product management is more of a mindset. Much more of a mindset. I'm going to wrap up here. Next week, Saturday, I'm not going to talk about mindsets because that's a very, very important conversation to have if you want to go into 2024. Right? If you want to go into 2024, you can't go into 2024 without having a very straight mindset going into the year as a product manager. So on Saturday next week, we're going to have another session like this, and we'll just focus on talking about mindsets going into 2025. Sorry, 2025. 2025. Sorry, 2025. Right? So I hope that this session has been beneficial. Let's take some questions. Right? Let's use the next, say, 10 minutes to take some questions. Again, please explore all perspective. Explore all perspective. Now, let's take questions. If you have questions, drop an emoji, raise up your hand if you have questions. Let's take questions. If you have questions, drop an emoji if you understand the entire conversation. Please drop an emoji. I want to see the emoji if you understand all today's conversation. Okay, awesome. All right. Questions. Gisela, do you have a question? I can see your hands are raised. Gisela, do you have a question? Is there anybody who has questions so that we can take it? Or you guys are waiting, you guys are allowing it to sink in? Okay. Precious. Okay, Precious, Wilfred. Let's take the question then. Precious, go ahead.
All right. Hi, Banji. Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear. I can hear you. Loud and clear.
All right. Thank you so much for the session. It was quite clarifying. Thank you. Okay, so for the question I have, actually, I feel like you've touched a bit of it, but just to get more insight on it. So it's regarding some of the ways you shared. Which one of it is like finding a problem around myself, around like something I've experienced or something somebody has experienced, and then try to bring up a solution around it. So I know you've touched the part of their products that are not necessarily tech per se, but for example, I want to come up with something that I've seen as a problem. I think one of the challenge I just oversee from here on is how do we go about building the product itself. Let's say, for example, if we have to like bring up a website or something, I think that's going to be the part where I would need to ask, okay, how
do you go about
me
building
go
a
about
product?
it? Yeah, exactly.
So
Like I know
you find developers now. You find developers who are looking for volunteer experience. Yeah, a lot of people are looking for volunteer experience. They just want to build something to build their capacity. You find developers, you find designers. You're in the tech space now. If you go on Twitter now, you say, I'm trying to solve a problem. I'm looking for 4 volunteers. Do you think you'll not see? Every time that we do that thing, I've done that thing, God knows how many times, when we're looking for volunteers for open source internship. Right? I remember the last one that Abiodun posted for us. We got 1,000 developers that filled the form. Just so you know, 1,000 developers. So if you go and post it on social media right now, that, you need a developer who is good with React, Vue.js, and is volunteer, you just want to build something, you want to solve a particular problem, people will apply. Ensure you have more than you need. Now you go to do audition for a volunteer. Yes.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank
So
you.
yes, go on social media, type it, especially on Twitter, designer, developer, you will see people who are willing to do volunteer with you. And then make sure that you build an MVP. Don't do something that will take forever. Right? Build an MVP that can be ready in 1 month, 6 weeks. They're done and dusted. Right? You can let them be. If they still want to stay with you, no wahala. If they want to leave, no wahala. So yes, there are talents looking for opportunities everywhere.
Thank you so much.
All right. Yep. Let's hear from Kemi. Hi, Kemi. Famojuro. Hi, Kemi.
Hi, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Thank you for the explanation and all of that. I just have like a simple, will I say, small question. Is it like customer service and PM? They're like basically related because you said something about your plumber and saying he checks up on clients and all. Basically, it feels like the
Customer
like
service.
what are like the major differences? Yes.
Obviously,
between
customer service
CS
are not.
and PM?
Yeah, customer service are not building products. that's a major difference. They're not building products. Theirs is just to follow up on customers to see if customers are getting value and if customers are having a good experience. But product managers also do that. From a tech perspective, for example, now, from a tech perspective, we're going to be checking our analytics to see how our product is performing, to see if users are getting value from our products. We're going to be checking reviews as a product manager to see if people have good feedback about our product, bad feedback about our product, right? And if the feedback is good, right, we improve. Even if the feedback is bad, we also improve, right? So the aspect of checking up on how customers are getting value, that's where the relationship between customer experience and product management, that's where the relationship comes. But obviously, there's a significant difference. Customer experience, people are not building products. Their job is just to manage customers. But as well, product managers also have to manage customer, right? In a company where a product manager has a customer experience team, there'll be a synergy. There's going to be a collaboration where the product manager is using the customer experience team to conduct research, to find out what customers are experiencing with the product. So that's where the relationship is in finding if customers are getting value. That's where the relationship is. So, but there are two very different roles. But the relationship now comes down to a customer experience manager, a customer success, or a customer rep is always trying to find out if customers are getting value. The product manager is also trying to find out if customers are getting value. That's where the relationship comes in.
All right. Thank you so much for the clarification.
You're welcome. All right, so let's hear from Talent Forge. That's what I'm saying here. Talent Forge. Talent Forge. I guess that's like a business name or something. Talent Forge. I don't know if you are speaking. Okay. Gisola, are you also raising your hands just to be sure? Hi, Gisola, are you raising your hands just to be sure? All right, so I'm assuming that there are no more other questions. So, okay, so I'm assuming that there are no more other questions. Please, I implore you, don't go into 2025 just looking at one perspective. Go into 2025 looking at many perspectives, right? Just like we did that tax at the beginning of the class, this particular tax that all of us were seeing different things. At the end of the day, there is always different perspective to everything that happens in this life. So as far as you are aware that you can see a vax, you can see somebody looking, you can see somebody trying to kiss, you can see a chessboard, and you are right. If whatever you see is right, so why don't you explore all the perspective that is available to you in product management? Explore every one of them, right? You would see, there's no way you explore every one of them that you will not find one that will work for you. And you will make money out of it at the end of the day. And even if you don't make money out of it, you would have built experience, you would have built capacity for bigger opportunities in the future. So that I'm not repeating myself again, right? I just wanted to use this to bring this message It's a bed. Okay, Solomon. Solomon. All right, Solomon.
Hello, good evening.
Hi, good evening, Solomon. Favor. Okay, good evening.
All right, thank you. You're actually doing a very good job. I just want to appreciate you for your lecture and your explanation.
Thank
So,
you.
like, I joined late, and then when I joined in, you were talking about like a training, something about a training. So I just wanted to like know more about it because I didn't get it by the time
Oh,
you.
okay. So I'm assuming you're new in the community. So Enoverlab offers product management
Example.
trainings. Okay, that's fine. So Enoverlab offers product management trainings, right? Where you can learn product management in details, right? Online, on site. But let me ask, forward Tommy, are you on the call? So please drop your number so that Favor can reach out to you directly so that we don't distract this particular call. Forward Tommy, are you on the call? So that Favor, so you can reach out to Forward Tommy, or let me find, I don't know if she's still on the call. Okay, Forward Tommy is here. So Favor, you can pick up Forward Tommy's number. If there's anybody here who is trying to figure out how to learn product management or learn product management at Enoverlab, you can chat Forward Tommy up. She's our customer experience person at Enoverlab, manager at Enoverlab. So she would guide you through the process. Favor, did you get that? Favor, did you get that?
Yes, I did. I'm trying to copy the number.
Okay, awesome. All right, so let's hear from Rukayat. So yeah, from Fortum will give you the details. Rukayat, please go ahead. So we'll I want us to wrap up in 2 minutes. Rukayat, please go ahead.
Thank you for thank you for the session. It was really insightful. Okay, so my first
You're
question
welcome.
is concerning the co-founding of the thing. How can we get a co-founder? Is there a platform where people always put that they are looking for a co-founder or something?
How can you get a co-founder? I would say social media platforms, because I think it's still social media. If you post online, if you post, okay. So yeah, Rukayat, on social media, if you tell somebody you're looking for a co-founder, right? Or if you say you're looking for someone who is building something and you like to contribute to them, right? Either way, social media is one easiest way. Also look at your friends that are building something. Just like me, and I just talk about my friend who sells keyboard, and I bought keyboard from him, and I share with him that, okay, I feel like there's a problem around finding musical instruments. Can we solve it together? He will focus on the operation, I will focus on the tech. So you can look around you and the things that happen around you and the people who are doing stuff around you, or use social media.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So please, I have another question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I'm currently working for a startup, and
For a
before I
startup.
joined, the startup
Okay.
paid a developer to create their website, and the developer already got it to me. But it's been like 2 months now. The developer is not delivering the website, and the developer is not providing the password to the domain. So, as the product manager, what can I do to solve this kind of problem? We want to build another website, and we still want to maintain the same domain name. But because we don't have access to the domain password, we could not move ahead with it. So what can we do?
That's a very interesting one. I've experienced this a couple of times. So please, if you're a new product manager here and you find yourself in a startup, please, if you have to write this down, write this down. Don't ever give one developer full access to your code base, your GitHub, your repository. Don't ever do that, right? That's, if you've made that mistake, it's hard to correct the mistake. The only way you can do it now is to go and be begging that guy to give you guys the password. And if the guy wants to be stubborn, you guys will not get it. So there's nothing that you can do right now The only thing that you can do right now is to go and beg the guy and say, Joe, please help our life and give us this thing. Do you understand? Because it has gotten to that stage. What did you say?
I said the guy is not in Nigeria anymore, and we've been begging him for weeks now. It's just
He's not in Nigeria anymore. She cannot just send password. It's not just to send password. Hey, those guys can be very interesting. Anyway, I'm not surprised. I have experienced this before. I had one guy that worked on a project one time, and because the guy was angry with how they approached with somebody in the team, and the guy just put the entire team on ransom. Don't ever give one developer sole authority to your product. Please don't do that to yourself. Please always make sure that, in short, like 4 people have access to that. That's where I do it, right? Like 3 to 4 people should have access to that repo, the GitHub, the repo, and even the sign up of the GitHub and the repo should be in the company's email, not even the developer's email, because it will not be inside the developer's repo and the developer's GitHub, except the developer now migrate it. So it should always be in the company's email. The company email should be what they use to sign up on the GitHub, sign up on the repo, so that even all the database, whether you're using MongoDB or whatever database, everything should be on the company's name, and then let multiple people have editor access. That's the only way to resolve the issue. I don't think there's anything I can say that will solve the problem except you can beg the guy. And if the guy is not available to be begged, you guys have to go and start from beginning again. There's nothing you can really do. And the next time you don't make that mistake.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, let's take a final question. Joseph.
Good evening, sir.
Okay, yes, good evening.
Yes, first of all, thank you for the insightful session you have with us. I really appreciate it. My question is, before now, I am planning of taking on MBA program, and your MBA program, from my understanding, it has a MBA in product management and MBA in business analyst and other batch of MBA. So I want your candid advice, sir. I'm one of the newly, let me say, about to be certified product manager. So will you advise me to still proceed on an MBA program that has to do with product management or business analyst?
So if you have a long-term plan for your product management career, you can do the MBA program once and for all. If you have a long-term plan, right? I think you just do it once and for all. But if you don't have like a long-term plan for your product management career, because your MBA now, you're going to do 2 years now. Is it 2 years? Yes. Now. So if it means you are going to spend 2 years going MBA into product management, then it means you are committed to the career on a long term. Do you understand? So yes, you can do the MBA program in product management if you have a long-term plan for the career.
Sorry, in a nutshell, are you saying that this certificate will not take one far?
Oh no, is that what you mean? No, you can do a lot without an MBA. Even me, I don't have an MBA in product management, for crying out loud. You can do a lot without an MBA in product management too. With any, for example, if you take a training at Enoverlab now, with your certificates, you are good to go to get a job, and you get a solid job that pays you well. So you don't need to do an MBA in product management before you get a solid job that pays you well. Please, you don't need to. Do you understand? So that's why I said on a long term, if you have a long term plan for the career, it means you can dedicate 2 years of your life doing an MBA program. But obviously, 2 years is a long time. So it means you must have a long term plan as well.
Oh, okay, thank you. So what you are saying now is that for now, with this certificate now, I can do so much with it, and
Yes.
I don't have any cause to worry like this now.
Yes,
And
you don't have any cause to worry.
most companies recognize it.
Yes. Honestly, that MBA programs in product management are new. There are no MBA programs in product management 2-3 years ago. those things just started to come out last year, this year, that we started to see MBA programs in product management. Instead, what is popular is MBA programs in project management. So product management MBA programs are still relatively new.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, your certificate is enough to get you started.
Okay.
All right, guys. So that'll be all for tonight. Let's have a good night's rest. Enjoy your weekend. So next week, we're going to be talking about mindset. Please go and practice everything we've talked about. Look at all the other perspectives and apply your product management skills in all of these different perspectives. You'll still get the same results, right? You build capacity, you get experience, you make money, everybody wins. Next week, Saturday, we'll come and talk about mindsets of the mindsets that you need to succeed in product management next week, because there's a mindset that you guys need to also follow and take. It's not just by approaching it anyhow. All right. Good night, everyone. Enjoy your weekend and enjoy. We see you next week, Saturday. Thank you so much. Bye, everyone.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. You're welcome.